Hi guys, welcome to DevOpsSchool. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Ansible network modules. Ansible network modules can configure your network state, test and validate existing network state, and discover and correct network configuration drift. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of Ansible will be absolutely clear to you. This series divided into multiple parts, therefore subscribe to the channel and follow the playlist.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOpsSchool certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai, and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best, and start today.
These are configuration management tool, okay, and it works on push mechanisms and all these. Also, the main things you need to remember is something. Ansible works on modules, okay. So basically, you need to point a module to Ansible and tell that do this or do that, something like that. Just telling it that you're telling Ansible that use this module because the module is already written somewhere. Like the module knows what to do. Okay. The pros would be it is agentless, so you don't need to install any agent. So any other configuration management tools?
Like if you're saying about the Python?
No, Chef and Puppet.
No, not so much.
Yeah, those are also configuration management tools. So Puppet was the first one to be launched.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me explain. Put it in this way, you'll get a clear-cut idea on this. So let's consider this as our VPC. Okay, we have a VPC. Let's consider this as our dev environment. Fine. Okay. So are you working in somewhere? Because I want to understand like what should I do?
Yes, I'm working. Basically, I'm as already mentioned last time, maybe that from last more than 10 years, I'm working with network environments, mostly with Cisco.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what you would usually touch? What tools you
use? Sorry, again.
What kind of tools you use, like in Cisco you're working with? So
like
on real-time basis, like what you work on exactly?
Yeah, like from last more than 5 or 6 years, I'm working in a professional services team. So it means that I had different projects. For example, like I had a project with routing and infrastructure, with some one project I got with the data center migration, or pure Nexus
So
migration
my
and
question
configuration.
is, are you into development or else
No.
operations or something like that?
No, I'm not in development. I'm not in, you can say, also.
You're into management kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you don't do the ops work, but you take care of the ops work. Like you do manage, might be like something like submitting the work or checking something like that, or else
Okay. Let me explain. Right now, I'm working with a Cisco ACI project.
Okay.
And in this project, my role is basically I have to provide some assistance to the different team. For example, for the engineering team, for the deployment team, for the Cisco ACI. So there is one more team. They are doing all kind of software development and this kind of stuff. So I have to support all these team regarding automation of the Cisco ACI.
Okay. Okay, so you have to inform the client like what is going on, or else you work
No,
on
no, no, no,
infrastructure.
no, 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 no. I'm not going to inform. As already mentioned that basically I am coordinating different teams. Okay, for
Yeah,
this
so
project.
you're coordinating team for the project. Matlab you're into management type, right? You're managing the whole project like you are just
No, 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 no.
uh,
Actually, as already mentioned that, for example, there is a team for software development. I have to
mm,
translate the requirement from the technical aspects. Like as already have a technical background, but I
mm,
have to consult with different team because my current customer is not a small customer. They had more than, maybe you can say, more than 5,000 devices for the Cisco environment, and other devices they are running a huge environment. So basically, they are different teams
mm. No, I'm
for.
just asking you because you know the terminology or not. That's all. I
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
know you know the terminology and everything because if I go ahead and directly speak about all the terms and if you might not understand, so that is why I wanted
No,
to make it as simple as
uh,
possible so that you could take a clear-cut idea on it.
yeah. What kind of terminology if you're saying about in terms of network security, there is no problem. But when you're
Hmm.
saying about the DevOps or net regarding automation, maybe not so much.
Okay, then. Okay, I'll just go with the basic terms, then I'll explain how it is called and all. So you might get an idea. Okay. So this is something we call it a VPC. So VPC is something where you put all the network. Suppose you have a client here, right? So they might be having different environments like dev, production, and pre-prod and deployment, like testing as well. So for each, we will have an VPC. Okay, so this is a dev VPC. It's considered as environment is stage is dev, and this is a VPC. Okay. Now we have
VPC
multiple
stand
servers,
for? VP stands for?
virtual virtual private connections like what do you call virtual private cloud. So
ठीक
what
है.
happens
Okay,
is
okay.
it is your own private cloud. That's all. Nothing that much.
Ah,
Your own data center.
okay,
Your own data center. Okay. So
okay.
uh, these are different servers. Okay. You might be having multiple servers. One is scaled at large. One is scaled at small servers. So I'm just representing the different scale and all. Now, what happens is, for example, there might be a case that there is a developer and there are testers, and there is another guy who's ops, who is like DevOps or something. Who this guy takes care of something, like a production release or something. Okay. Now, now a developer actually works on a code. Okay, he works on a code, he tests everything, and he says he packages it. So it packaging depends on the organization. Usually, sometimes developers do, sometimes DevOps guy does that. So we totally just consider that in this case, a developer is doing the packaging. Okay, so he packages the software and he says it's ready for test. Now he sends it to the testing person. Now he says that it didn't work. This test. So what might be the issue? See, there might be multiple issues. The first one would be like the software is not the same, or might be this person is using some other packages and he didn't tell the testing team that you might want to use all this as well. And the next possible thing is something they are working on some game deployment or something. So let's consider it as let's think the Java SDK. Consider the Java SDK version is some 8.3 or something, but it's an old version, and this person uses testing person uses the 9.1 some version. Okay. Now what happens? We see that the version which they are using is different. So I hope you already have an idea that if the versions are different, the program might not work actually. It has multiple disturbances. It will get error out the possible. There are multiple possibilities might not work. So that is the place where this configuration management comes into picture. So what do you do? What is the configuration is something you set up the server and you install the minimum requirements in all the servers at once. Okay, so we have multiple tools which can be done. We have Chef, we have Puppet, and we have Ansible. So these are the major ones. Now, if you talk about all the different, so Puppet is something property is too old, it came first. So this works with DSL Ruby. You have to write the script in DSL Ruby format. And Chef also, which came next, and it also works with DSL Ruby. And there comes Ansible, which you all learn. It works with YAML. So now what happens is, all the three does the same thing. So for Chef and Puppet, we will create another server. So there is one server. We can consider this as the main server, master server for all this Chef, Puppet or Ansible. Then what happens is you need to install clients in the rest of servers. Okay. So for Chef, also you need to install clients. And for Puppet also, you end up installing clients. So then this would actually open to something. You're taking the space again, you're running a daemon in all of the servers. And that would actually take up more space, right? So am I audible? I just want to check you there.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, if you get any doubts, you can actually pause me and ask
Yes.
what if you want to understand much more clearly. Okay.
Yeah,
You're clear till now, right? You understood right till now what happened?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is the master. It would make sure that the software base is same. Like every server has same software. Okay. Next, what happens? Then Ansible actually comes into picture. What it does is something. It automates it. So here we can automate the infrastructure management completely. Like I'm sorry, configuration management, not infrastructure. It is a configuration management. So now as you just said that it is a large company and they have multiple servers, right? So if it is done manually, you have to log into each server and install the correct version of the software. But with Ansible, that is pretty much easy. You could just select the host. You could create them into groups and run it on the whole group, or you could put them into a list and you could run on all the lists. And you can also use handlers like if statements kind of thing. Okay, so the next.
Sorry. Actually, if you want, or if we are going to compare with Kubernetes and also Dockers, how you can explain, or how you can
How do you differentiate in the sense?
yes.
See, Docker is something it just creates. There is a much difference in it because you cannot actually create comparing between. Ansible is just a configuration management tool.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sure that configuration is different. But what Kubernetes and Docker does is something. A Docker creates a container. So, for example, now this is whole VPC, right? You understood the concept,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
In Docker, what you can do is you could directly. This is a Docker server. You can directly think as a Docker server, head server. Okay, this is a master server, and dev is something. And these are all the containers in one server itself. There is nothing like you create a VPC and create multiple EC2 instances, not only EC2, any instances. So first of all, what is an instance? It is just like a computer, like the laptop you are using, right? You're using a device, laptop, or a PC, right? So that is an instance. If you call it that is an instance. My laptop is an instance. What an instance does? It has an operating system. It has different tools where you can run them and use them in any software. So you can consider this is a Docker container, but these servers are microservices, micro applications. It can run micro applications. Suppose the major difference applies here. Something. Suppose configuration management just makes sure that all the configuration is something. Because suppose you're using any Mac or Windows laptop, right? You might be using something. Windows or Mac?
Windows.
Yeah, you're using Windows, right? So Windows 10, there is a 9401 update recently, if you have checked. Now, if you're using an Apple device also, they give you a term that all the devices should use. There is a baseline of the requirement for the devices. Suppose if you talk about iPhone devices should use a baseline of 11.3. I mean, there is a baseline 10.5, 11.3 versions where you should use there to get the latest security updates. And if you're using Android phone, you would get a patch updates for the security. So that is a baseline that that is how you maintain the configuration of a device. So basically, configuration management does it maintains the configuration, means it updates configuration in the sense the applications which are running are same in all the servers in the different environments. Now, what does Docker do? Docker is complete picture out of it. It creates containers. Have you heard about the containers orchestration or something like that?
Yes.
So it creates containers. You know Docker, or else you're just trying to understand what it is?
Well, just I want to understand, not so
Okay.
much I have an idea.
Yeah, that's so. Let's create. So yeah, we can use this also. These are the microservices. Suppose you were using network, right? You might be working. So you might be using servers like Apache and things, and you configure the ports and everything right inside work. So if I want to install, if we're using Apache or Engine, so for this you have to install. Let's cut out all this. Just the basic terms we'll discuss about. Okay, basic. You have a server, and you are installing. You're using Android, and you want to install Android SDK. Or else, if you remember previously, we used to use PC Suite for Samsung devices or something, right? So, do you want to install it? You want to use PC Suite for now. Okay. So, what you require? You require a server or a device which contains a server. And what else you require? You require an OS, operating system. And what else you require? You require an OS. You require support softwares, right? Then you install Android SDK. Then you use PC Suite or ADB, like debugging devices or something. So this is all you require, right? You need all of this to run a software, any software.
So basically, you can say that is a hardware independent or operating system independent application.
Docker, yeah, Docker is dependent on hardware, but the microservices. So that is what I'm coming to. So this is something you require, right, to create a server, like to run a software. Now, what does Docker do? You could directly launch this. It is independent to the OS or anything. So it will directly launch in a microservice container. It only has all the required software to run this one, and you don't need another server setup or install anything. Everything is maintained by Docker, and you don't derive the RAM or processor or speed. Docker actually manages by itself how much RAM is required, how much processor should be run on this, how much storage is required. So it takes care of it. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Docker does. So create the containers which has the essential software required by you, and you can destroy it in seconds. So you create in seconds and you destroy it in seconds. And you can package the container, you can package all the code and push it to somewhere, and you can again deploy the same container. There is a lot more to learn in Docker. It is going to be the future if you are trying to get into this infrastructure management time. Yes, Docker and Kubernetes are going to rule sometime in future. Because that actually, gets down your billing. Your billing will be so less because you will end up using one large server. That's all. Now you understand what Docker does, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So where does this Ansible comes in picture? In the same way, we spoke about support softwares, right? The software which are used for supporting. Ansible makes sure that the softwares are same in all the servers. That's all. That's how the configuration management works. And what else? There is something called Ansible Tower where you can actually link all the Ansible there, and we will be learning about in the end. Like, and that is a minimal topic. That is like first what we'll do. So I'll tell you what is our plan to how to make you understand it.
Yes,
so
actually, that is better. That is a good idea. That if we have some course outline or some guideline, so we can follow that one.
Yeah, sure. So see, the first is today is something just making you understanding what is Ansible, how it works, what is a configuration management tool, and what are the different tools used. And we also spoke about something Docker and all. So the first would be you will learn Ansible command line, because that is really important. Without that, you will not be, even if you create something also, you should know the command line. Ansible command line syntax. Okay, first would be command line. Next would be okay. Just a minute. Okay, yeah, ad hoc syntax, and you will be end up checking all the syntax as well, and basic. So yeah, basic modules, how to call in a modules, and how to set up modules. Then after the tags, the handlers, and so this is the basic. So this is like you will learn here the Ansible basic version. Okay, basics, like how you understand, how you by end of this you will know that how to use Ansible. Then we will go with Ansible playbook deep dive. Here you will understand how to use all the modules, because modules have their own syntax. Not the regular syntax will not work for all the modules, because syntax actually changes different. So here also you will learn configuration and inventory as well. So yeah, this all you'll get covered in this. And here you will know how to use modules, and we will actually run, and I'll also make you run all the network modules which you are talking about, which you wanted to learn, right? So we will run network modules. I'll do that. Then you will do that in front of me. How are you doing? I'll just let you know what are the changes made.
Yes. Okay.
And I think by this you'll be perfect in Ansible. Not only with network, because this is something which you're learning. This is for universally. Whatever the model you use, this is the same thing. Here we are concentrating more on network modules, but even though after this course you will be able to use Ansible at par extent, the maximum Ansible can do, you can use it. So this is what. You got it? Yeah. So you want me to add anything else here?
Yeah. Actually, the question is that I think so. We need or we can only install Ansible on the Linux environments, right?
Yes.
Okay. So and I think so. Like like CentOS and some free distributions, they don't need any license. But for Red Hat, we need license.
For what? For Red Hat? No. See, you know what? We are not talking about all that. We just forget about it. That you might have learned in your previous class. Ignore that. You use your Windows itself. There is nothing you need to worry. I'm using C. If you see this is Ubuntu, I'm using in my Windows itself.
Yeah.
You see it. The app update. I'm using it in my Windows itself. So I'll help you set up this. Okay, please do not worry on that. I'll create the environment, or I'll add that also.
So you're using a VM environment?
No. I'm directly using Ubuntu inside Windows. It is a subsystem Linux. I'll help you set up that. Okay, don't worry on it.
Okay.
So first we'll do introduction is today. I'll just tell you more topics on how Ansible works. Right now it will take half an hour more, because I wanted you to understand the broad picture of it. Okay. So tomorrow I'll help you. Okay, let's take this guy. Let's put this there. I'll help you set up environment. You can set up Red RHEL or CentOS or Ubuntu. It's your call. It's totally your call. You tell me which one you want. I'll just set that up in your Windows itself. Okay. So tomorrow we'll do setup. Then at the same time we'll complete installation as well, and we'll run a basic ping between the servers. Basic ping, like the first playbook.
Okay.
Basic ping playbook, and after that we would do with next. We'll go with configuration, Ansible configuration. Then I'll teach you how to create the inventory. These all will be done. This three you can consider as 3-in-1 class. And this practice might take more, because how much you understand, and that makes actually, So don't fix on the class count. what I'm trying to do is I'll make sure that you know everything. By the end of all the course, you should know everything, right? That's what it means. To learn
Yeah, that is actually, I don't want to say that what happened last time. So I think you're going in a right way.
Yeah, cool. Yep. So this is what happens here. Let's talk about. So as I told you, instruction. Okay. So we stopped it here. So this is what. Just remember this one. I'm just going to keep it there, but I'm building. So now we know, we understand that instructions, the basic thing is that Ansible is agentless. You don't need to install anything in any server, which actually makes it easy because you might be using some big, suppose you work in a data analytics company, okay? You might be using some big, what do you call it, big Python. You might be using Python, and you might be using RStudio or something like that. And your system needs more memory, more power to work on it. And if you install a client, it will actually end up using the daemon is running inside the server, and that will disrupt the current working flow of the data analytics company, right? So that would be not recommended. So what happens with Ansible is something uh, easier, which has to make it easier for servers because you don't install any client, and there you run it with SSH. Then you might get a question like how it works. It works with SSH access. Okay, SSH access works on port 20, and we should make sure that sorry, 20. Also, you can run in different ports. So ports is something you could define. Okay. Do you have any more doubts till now?
No. No, you can
Okay.
go.
Yeah. So it works in port 20. We should make sure that port 22 is open. Okay. So this comes under security SecOps or something. So if you know about the SecOps thing, you would understand the network access modules. And that's all. What else? Yeah, no nodes installed in the list. And if you're happy to know, you could know that Apple uses this and NASA uses Ansible. What else? There is another company, Juniper, also uses Ansible because that is so easy and takes less memory and works. And it is written in language. Written in YAML. This is too easy to code, so don't worry. We did that just like a key value pair of time kind of thing. Okay, you should know the key and you give the value. That's all.
Right.
There is like push mechanism and pull mechanism. So if you go with Puppet and Chef, what happens is it is a pull mechanism. So what happens is like this servers, there are servers right here. The servers will have a daemon installed, like a client. A client service is installed inside the server. So if you consider this as a master server, what happens is this daemon will actually fetch, like this will pull the latest details from the master. The master has installed Java 9.4 SDK. Then it will pull the details from here. Then it starts installing. So there is some time, it might be 12 hours or there is a gap between that. Then it will start installing. That happens with Chef and Puppet, both. Now, when it comes to Ansible, we do not have a daemon installed in the servers, right? You see, there is no daemon installed inside the servers. Now, what happens? Now, what happens is in master, you update the code. The moment you update, and you can schedule a playbook to run, or you run the playbook, it will directly push the command to all the servers on spot, and this would be installed on spot. This actually makes it easier because companies have a system maintenance window enabled. We have an idea. They have a system maintenance window separately. So we should make sure that the work is done in the same time. And in this case, you have to make sure the time is set up correctly. And sometimes what happens?
Thanks for watching. To watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Want to study further? Subscribe to our paid membership to get a deep dive into each and every topic. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to our DevOps School channel and hit the bell icon to learn more. Keep learning.